to the STI. It is now 5:32. Now we're just gonna head over to the storage unit and hopefully it's closed. Fingers crossed that it's closed. I hate when it's open. It's fucking freezing there. Guys, you can tell by the background where we're at. The gates are open, so it is cold as hell. Change these wheels real quick and get this Subi winter prepped. It's super cold. First wheel out. These are just super dirty. As you can see there, it says rear driver. One thing I always do is a good practice, always label. Oh, great, the gates are shutting, that's awesome. It's nice that that gate's down because now we have a little wind block, so you know, won't be so windy. I'll do what it's like to own a Subaru for, you know, an extended period of time. I've had this car for, how long has it been? 2 years, a little more than 2 years, and I actually have not drove it, or I have not driven it as much as other people would have if they had it. I literally have put maybe 3,000 miles in the span of 2 years. A little bit of background information. I got this car, what was it, 2022, and that was around the time that Subaru memes were peak. And what I mean peak was the Subaru trash talk was peak. This was also a modded Subaru, so it wasn't like, you know, a fresh Subaru that has never been touched. It was a high mileage modded Subaru that was kind of a deal too good to be true. So keep those things in mind. With that being said, being the person that I am, kind of very easy to get anxiety about things, especially car related things. I'm not sure if this car was the best purchase, for me at least. So right when I got it, there was a problem with the oil drain line for the turbo was leaking. So it was leaking on the up pipe, so that was creating a lot of smoke, and you know, it was worrying me. But it would smoke right from the hood. Literally right here would, you know, smoke would rise every time I drove it. That was the first thing that gave me anxiety about this car. So despite the smoke and the memes and me knowing I have anxiety when it comes to just about everything when it comes to cars, we still bought it. I'm not sure if this was the greatest decision ever, but we did it anyway. Me being me with the anxiety I have, not only did I just fix the turbo oil drain, I went all out. I got, you know, everything that a STI would need to last as long as it could. Because for one, I was a broke college student, so I couldn't have this car blowing up. Two, I was trying to use it as my winter car, so, you know, I had to have something reliable. And yeah, three, I just don't want it to blow up, right? So we got a Killer Bee oil pan, Crawford AOS, Killer Bee oil pickup, baffle, inlet tube, and you know what? I totally underestimated how much this would be in terms of labor, so this is kind of explains why there's not that many miles on the car, but I bought it to be a winter car, got all these mods to make it bulletproof, and the car sat. The car just sat until I graduated, and then I finally got to working on the car, so it being the winter car just did not pan out the way I wanted it to. At that point, I was kind of having some buyer's remorse because it was supposed to be a winter car. Winter already passed, the car just sat, and we didn't even get to enjoy it and drive it. After I graduated, then I was really able to kind of fix the car, do the mods that were necessary to get it running, and also, you know, get it working good. Now, so that's one winter. That's one winter why I didn't use it. Now the second winter, this is partially my fault, and like I said before, my anxiety. I had to do, you know, a few more things before I got a tune, because, you know, once you get a tune, everything is set in stone, and, you know, you can't really change much. So before the tune, I wanted to do a little bit more mods, change the timing belt, change the oil pump, the water pump. So that was another reason why the car sat for the second time, for the second winter. At the end of the winter, we do the timing belt, water pump, oil pump, all that, and then we decide to get a tune. So the tune went well, survived the dyno. I was super happy. So we went to Prime Motoring and got tuned with JR, and the car made just under 300 wheel. And yeah, then I kind of had some peace of mind, and I thought it was reliable, and you know, it has been, besides a few things here and there, which I'll get into. It's an old car, so as things, you know, warm up, there's more vibrations, this and that. You know, I've experienced some leaks here and there, and you know, they were easy fixes, but nonetheless there were leaks that would freak me out. You know, as I said before, the car stuff just gives me so much anxiety. The car hasn't been that bad. It's been pretty good. Some things I will complain about though, it is at this point a 20-year-old car. It has its, you know, creaks and all that, but another thing about Subarus in general, this thing burns so much gas. I recently just picked up an RX-7. I haven't really drove it that much, but from what other RX-7 people have been telling me, this is just as bad. The gas mileage is crazy bad. It's horrible. It's like, honestly, to be honest with you, sometimes like 11-12 miles per gallon. That's ridiculous. Another thing, insurance in this car is pretty expensive. I get a deal because I have multiple cars, and you know, I bundle them all together, but I think it's a few dollars less than my Miata, which is a newer car. And like, I don't know, I would expect that to be kind of a long stretch from, you know, the price difference. So yeah, the insurance is pretty expensive. And just off the top of my head, that's kind of what I've been dealing with this car, and owning it for a little over 2 years. You know, it's been great. The times that it has been working hasn't been giving me problems. You know, I say all the time, cars are good when they work, you know, and this car is great when it works. You know, it has its problems here. It leaks, you know, every so often, burns oil, you know, stuff like that. And another thing, they're high maintenance cars, so they kind of require a little bit more love than, you know, a regular 4-cylinder, you know, inline 4, V6, straight 6. They require a little bit more love. They're a little bit more quirky. So yeah, I'm always checking the oil, always checking the coolant, and it just gives me so much anxiety. Just like, you know, oh man, am I low on oil? Am I gonna oil starve? Am I low on coolant? Is my head gasket okay? You know, like, just like the stereotypical things of a Subaru owner. And yeah, it's been like a roller coaster. I'm slowly trying to trust the car more, and you know, stay away from the stigma of the whole Subaru thing, but I can't help it getting to me, you know, just constantly being reminded on social media that, hey, this car can, you know, it's unpredictable and this and that. I've been told by many people that it's not, and to trust it, so that's what I've been trying to do. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the whole ownership 2 years. I would rate it maybe a 6 out of 10. I just haven't drove it that much. Mind you, my job doesn't require me to drive much, but it's been okay. Would I recommend buying a Subaru as your only car? Probably not, honestly. I'm blessed enough to have a few cars and, you know, not really work that far from home and work remotely at some time, so I don't really depend on this car as much. But if it was your only car and you had to really depend on a car, I wouldn't really get a 20-year-old Subaru, honestly. The reason why I have the car was, one, it was a good deal. 2, I wanted to try a new platform. Coming from Miatas, you know, this was a way different, more expensive platform. And yeah, it was kind of just to try something new. Do I regret it? Not really. I really enjoyed the car and it's fun. Yeah, let's drive the car a little bit. Let me show you why I kind of kept the car for so long. Like I said, this car is really enjoyable to drive. You don't even have to drive it fast, really, to enjoy it. I think I say this because I come from Miatas. You know, it just feels like such a car. You know, driving this around, it feels, you know, just complete, more full. But yeah, there are some drawbacks to it. It being all-wheel drive and an old car, the turning radius is completely trash. U-turns in my Miata are usually K-turns in this car, so turning radius is bad. Like I said before, MPG is horrible, it's shit. Let's see if we can get it. But, you know, when you do drive it, it makes people smile. I've had kids come up to me, adults come up to me, and, you know, it's like, oh, I like your car, or, you know, oh, this car's so nice, or, you know, just like a kid walking by, they're like, oh, wow, look, you know, to their mom or dad. So it's cool in that aspect. And, you know, I've yet to experience it in the snow, but that's why we put the stock tires on. You know, I hope this year I can really unlock its full potential and, you know, see how it is in the snow, and maybe it'll change my opinion. Maybe I'll rank it a little bit higher. So I've sunk a lot of money into it. Hopefully this winter it'll change my mind. But we'll see. I'll catch you guys in the next one.